Game 7, I mean, win or go home might be the best for the Warriors and the Clippers. They square off tonight in Inglewood. Their seasons are on the line. Big game. That means we need a big breakdown. Perk, Shanae, what are you going to be keying in on in this one?
It's been a minute. It's time to go shot for shot. Big bro, little fist. We've got two legends in the play-in, Kawhi Leonard and Steph Curry. And for the first time in your life, you're not taking the chef. I'm taking the chef. You see what I did there?
Yeah, I like that.
You're going to take the claw. Tell me what you see and what you love from Kawhi Leonard.
Well, look, you can call him a legend. I'm going to call him Kawhi Leonard Jordan. He's having a career year this year, averaging almost 28 points, shooting 50% from the field. But I want you to check this out. This is a contained. This is a low to touch. Draymond Green is guarding him. He has the patience, stop, and knock down the tray ball. Kawhi again, the patience of Kawhi. Watch how he slices and dices on this play. He gets it back, goes quick. Look how he's getting through traffic to that midi and pulling up in traffic, knocking down what he does best, that mid-range jump shot.
You know what's crazy? I love this matchup, strength on strength, offense versus defense, a DPOY and a finals MVP. And actually, Kawhi is coming off of his best game ever versus Draymond Green, so he's going to walk in pretty confidently. But on the other side, when we talk about the Golden State Warriors, we have to highlight Steph Curry because he just came back about a minute ago, but it did not matter because he is the guy who's the best shooter in the game. Here we go. Roll the tape. Let's do this thing. So Steph Curry and Draymond Green work extremely well together offensively. I wish I could show this to any player in the country, young or old, that is not a shooter. This is how you get a shooter some looks. Slam screens here, creates a wide open window. This is the last thing you want to see if you're an opposing coach. Steph with that much room, it's just a layup for him. And then again, let's talk about smaller windows. Draymond, undersized on both ends. He's great on defense, but off offense, he's a quarterback. Great vision. These guys have this unbelievable chemistry right here. Look, slams. Draymond is so good because he took two. If you saw that, it was a corner three again. But more importantly, you guys, this has been the best season we've ever seen, not only between them, historically, but also ever since we started tracking, they generate the most points per direct handoff. This is the best two-man action. So, yeah, maybe it's a claw versus a chef. Are you going to actually come back to your side?
Well, Draymond did say he had the assignment of guarding Kawhi tonight. He said that yesterday on NBA Today.
And that's a heck of an assignment to draw. But you mentioned that Steph Curry just came back a minute ago, and tonight the question will be how many minutes will he go? And that's why we have Anthony Slater here, who covers the Golden State Warriors. He's been on a minutes restriction, Slater. How much are we going to see Steph?
The script's going to be around 32, which is his normal, this age of his career. Knowing him, he'll give you a wink and say, hey, I can convince Rick Celebrini and Steve Kerr in a timeout huddle in the fourth quarter, stretch this thing up to 34. But I think I've been surprised about how surprised people are that, they said he won't go towards 40. Of course he's not going to, because two reasons. Number one, he's trying to elongate his career into his 40s. We know the nature of his injury, this overuse, knee injury.
Right.
And even if you're under the delusion that they can make a playoff run this week, into the second round, they have to play tonight, they have to play Friday, they have to play Sunday afternoon in Oklahoma City. He's in his fifth game back. He hasn't played over 30 minutes yet. He's not going near 40 minutes.
So you're saying 32-ish minutes is what we're going to expect for Steph Curry here. So knowing that, Perk, what chance do you give them?
About a 15% chance.
That's very, very
higher.
Yeah, because that's how much confidence I have in the Clippers and Ty Lue and also Kawhi Leonard. Again, we just highlighted him going against Draymond, but this man has been playing at an MVP level since the All-Star break. He's definitely making all-NBA team. Might be first on my ballot.
Okay.
But when you talk about how he's able to take control over a game and dominate a game, it's not just him on the offensive side, it's him defensively. It's the reason I nicknamed him Kawhi Leonard Jordan, because he defends at a high level. And when you look at Darius Garland, he's finally finding his niche in his offense, right? Being that point guard, you could tell he has that confidence.
You know what would up us when it comes to the Warriors having a good percent higher than 15 would be the minutes restriction, because it's not just Steph, right? Didn't you say it's also Porzingis and Horford? So when you're in a postseason and you are limited amongst your star veterans, it makes it really difficult.
Yeah, it's probably about 20 minutes for Horford. Like Porzingis, he could maybe go 28-ish, but he's been in and out of the lineup.
And so those types of minutes restrictions are all going to kind of come into focus. And if the Warriors aren't going to live up to the 15% chance, Perk, that you give them tonight, then there's going to be some tough questions that are going to be asked. There's going to be a long summer where they're going to have to review a lot of things. It's going to start to come into focus tonight. The biggest of those questions, Slater, what do you think that is?
Steve Kerr. And he'll get asked. But, the one thing I can say for certain is we're not getting the answer tonight.
Steve Kerr and you say Steve Kerr, you mean his future. Okay.
His future as coach of the Warriors. He's under the last last year of his deal. He purposely didn't seek out a contract extension. I've tried to get that answer from him several times this season, including this week, talking to him over at the facility, and he still says he's uncertain. And part of that is there's a lot of bigger picture, questions that they need to sit down organizationally. I mean, it's a transition time for them, and he says he needs to still talk to Steph Curry, Mike Dunleavy, and Joe Lacob about those, and he hasn't had those conversations.
Well, Steve Kerr, when Draymond was asked about him on our show yesterday, Draymond said that he is very confident Steve will be back.
Draymond's not making the choice.
That's very fair. Well, it might take. What about the chances go up if you get a vintage Steph Curry performance, right? Could they go up a little bit?
Yeah, it's got to be like 60.
That might be what's needed to get Golden State's season to keep it alive, and he's taught us that he can do it. We got a big top of the top here. This is just Steph, purely what he does against the Clippers.
I feel sorry for Daniel Tice. That's what happens, though, when you switch and you get put on the island. He just go burn you up.
Yeah, that's nasty. Now to number 4. This is the Warriors facing the Clippers in 2018. 5 seconds left to play. Game's tied. You can't see it, but it's at 127.
Oh.
Well, who are you going to call for a bucket?
Look, you don't get enough credit. One of the most underrated finishers this game
Agreed.
has ever
Crafty
seen at the
finisher.
basket.
I think I already know what number 1.
17. Don't go there yet. We're only on 3. 5 seconds left. This is in the first half. Curry goes behind the back and then launches it and beats the buzzer.
Hasn't had a half
during
quarter.
that time, the scout used to be, do not let him catch the ball. Like, he was going on a tear with those
Sleeve jerseys were a time. All right, that brings us to number 2. This is 2015. Oh, yeah, behind the back.
Oh, was this it?
I thought this was going to be 1.
Oh, that
And then he
could
drains it
I
down.
thought that would be 1 too.
I can tell you what 1's going to be, though.
Okay.
Lean back.
Slater,
You're going to see
back.
Steve Kerr in number 1.
then take it away. What is
Yes.
number 1?
This is Steve Kerr's first season, and the moment he said he realized he needs to let Steph Curry shoot anything he wants. Because you're probably going to see the Steve Kerr reaction right here where he grabs his hair. He doesn't like the shot, but then accepts it.
Oh, you got it.
there
Yep,
you go.
you got it. Hauser in the building.
Guys.
Gentlemen, thank you for spending a little time with us.
Thanks for having
we
us.
appreciate it.
Very exciting time to be here.
It is an exciting time in basketball and what you guys are working on. I just want to be very clear here. The screener cracked me up. That's all we can show on Disney Airways. Like, these jokes are flying here.
Yeah,
But
this is a hard R.
it's a hard R, but I'm gonna the floor is yours here. We're at the World Cup. We have sort of a heist. We're trying to escape. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so we have created a condom, Paul. Well, they sell more condoms during the World Cup than any time in the world. Right, so they sell more condoms.
Yeah,
is.
SportsCenter. I learned this on SportsCenter.
So
actually.
we've created a condom that covers the penis and the testicles.
Oh,
And now we have taken the contract away from Trojan, and him and I are celebrating. Things go south really quickly, but we get invited to the finals of the World Cup, and it becomes a disaster. I don't want to give too much away, but he runs on the field, I run after him. The winning goal gets kicked off of my head, and Brazil loses, and we are the most hated people in Brazil. We get chased across the country, kidnapped. I mean, just craziness.
It's a very, very good summary. There were some synonym terms you might have wanted to use.
Well, I tried to use the
don't know
most
that we-
clinical
Mark
terms
said
I could.
We were going
Right? I said
straight,
penis.
straight there. We were going
package.
straight.
You know, the title
to-
says balls.
Yeah,
I didn't
we were
say that.
in science class. All right, how about we go from science class to gym? How about we do that? We talk a little hoops.
Well, that's even worse. Locker room talk.
Well, Mark, you're from Boston, so you know our guy Big Perk.
Oh my
incredibly
gosh!
well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
How are
Not
you
only
feeling about
for
this
bringing
year?
us the title, but also keeping the green alive. You know, because Burke is the only one that's really saying that the Celtics got a chance, and you know they did an amazing job this season without Tatum. I think Jaylen Brown and the rest of the team and Joe Mazzulla did an amazing job, and I think we're in store for a big run this year.
A big run
Kirk is
this year.
beaming because you complimented him.
It
He's
was
like
that.
beaming.
See, hey, listen, this is
He's the
my
best. He's been
Bostonian
to my
brother.
home.
I
This is my
didn't
guy.
kick it with Mark at his home. You know what I mean? We vibed for about a few hours. But listen, 2008, I didn't know this. Actually, our producers told me this before the show. You had a moment with Phil Jackson. I didn't know
Yes.
this game 5.
Yes.
And I didn't know you
Yeah.
would allow Phil Jackson, a Laker coach, to say what he said to you. Is
Oh,
that
I
true?
actually, so there's multiple stories. So Matt actually came out, told the story, and then the trainer of the Lakers just came out and told his version of the story. He was sitting exactly beside Phil. The Lakers were losing. We were about to win. Kobe actually said to me, you know,
There you are.
yeah. Kobe said to me, he goes, look, not tonight, not in our house. And I was like, okay, we'll just go back and win it in Boston. But Phil, the Celtics were making a run. Phil got up, turned around, told me and Matt to sit down and shut the F up. And Matt sat down real quick, and I just turned around and started laughing. And, the rest is history. But it was a wonderful moment. Matt and I laughed about it quite a bit. And, what better than to get under Phil's skin?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
No
He's
better
supposed to be
way.
the Zen master.
Now,
Legendary.
as much as we all love sports over here, Malika knows I also equally love television. And Paul, you're a Golden Globe winner, an Emmy winner.
Yep.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I lost a lot of sleep, but I had to keep watching. I loved Blackbird.
Oh,
you were
thank you.
phenomenal. Also, a very respected wrestler. What have you learned from your experience with sports that helps you on the big screen?
Oh, I don't know. I think the what I do in wrestling is, a quasi sport. It's, very much a performative thing that happens to have some athleticism or inherent violence. But I do enjoy that. I was not a great athlete growing up.
You enjoy slamming people?
Yeah, I enjoy being physical, Like I can do stunts on a movie. I can do stuff like this. And this is the closest thing I have to a sport in my life, though a guy like Mark is obviously proficient at many athletic things.
What does your wife and kids say about this? I mean, you have a great career.
Calculated risks, man. Look at Dwayne Johnson. He was wrestling and acting.
But before that, he transitioned from wrestling to acting. You're going the other way.
But you also mastered the psychological aspect. We talk about how sports is both physical and mental. How are you able to perform like that? Because we've seen you in a variety of different roles.
Yeah, I just, I very much know how to innately act from doing stand-up comedy and theater and what he and I do all the time with TV film stuff. So you insert that into the physicality and you, I mean, the biggest thing is entertain people, keep your opponent safe. So those are the only two things I care about is, am I sculpting an entertaining story in this match? And do I feel I'm keeping the person safe amidst violence?
Mark,
Yes,
you
sir.
are a legend. And I want to ask you this, because I know like Sinead, Malika, myself, we always critiquing ourselves, meaning we'll do a show, go back and watch to see how we get better. Like, throughout all the movies you didn't did, like, are you your biggest critic?
I am, but you put so much into the preparation and the execution of the actual making of the film that by the time it's done, you just got to let it go. And just kind of on to the next thing, and you try to find bigger and better challenges. I'm always constantly looking to do something that's a little bit different, that calls for, a little bit more in the preparation. I think you get the part, you become the part, which usually entails quite a bit, and then with no great effort, you play the part. But you have to kind of move on. I know some people who won't watch themselves. Other people are super critical of themselves. I kind of watch it, especially if I'm producing the movie. We'll go through the entire process. Once it's done, I kind of let it go. It's out to the world, and hopefully people enjoy it, and then I find the next thing.
I think that is a mentality that all three of us could stand to, and many
you must.
people
As you know, as athletes, and and in the entertainment business, you do everything you can to get ready. You don't have the regret of not being fully prepared, having given it your all in the moments leading up to the moment. So you've given it everything you could. You feel good about it, win, lose, or or draw. It's just kind of it's all about the prep and giving it your all.
And so much of it's out of your control too. It's like you go and kill it, and then you give the rest to God and hope it goes smoothly.
Well, one gift that you have given us in your characters is that of laughter. You've played so many different types of roles, but especially in this movie, it's the laughter that's really coming through. And I think, usually it's on Fridays that we're getting the biggest chuckle on this set, but we have a game that we like to play here that we like to play with you. And rather than me explaining it, let's play Who Said